Using what we call Flip Genius teaching and learning, the objective is for us educators and students to align ourselves in our processes to the influencers of today. We feel strongly that the discoveries have been made independently, like Flip Learning, Mastery and Proficiency Level Scales, Project and Problem-Based Learning, and Genius Hour, instead of acting independently, but rather placed together, offer students an amazing aligned learning path. The support that students receive through Flip Learning and the self-actualization and skills developed through intentional learning exercises and phases enables teachers to have a system for which a learner progresses from a dependent to an independent learner. The following progression is intentional. It is designed so that all teachers and learners start with the fundamental basics and supports, progress to mastery, and then move on to soft skill application to become a confident, team-driven expert. As the student progresses, become less and less dependent upon the teacher and more dependent upon themselves to find the answer by focusing on their own processes. Now let's review how teachers and students progress through the Flip Genius program. Let's flip the switch to turn your genius on. The following progression is intentional. It is designed so that all teachers and learners start with the fundamental basics and supports, progress to mastery, and then move on to soft skills applications to become a confident, team-driven expert. As the student progresses, they become less and less dependent upon the teacher and more dependent upon themselves to find the answer by focusing on their own processes. Now let's review how teachers and students progress through the Flip Genius program. Let's flip the switch to turn everyone's genius on. In Phase 1, we want students to fully engage with the new information and processes presented by staff. Traditional homework is completed at school in front of the teacher in order for the school and teacher to offer the full support that they need to quickly develop a student's solid academic foundation. In Phase 2, students move on to mastery, where teachers have previously identified the most critical content and skills needed in the learning progression and for competitive testing. Students and teachers use a proficiency scale and formative assessments to better communicate and frequently assess a student's current standing and future needs. Teachers then begin to give students corrective actions so they can move students forward towards a mastery level. In Phase 3, students are then given challenges and projects for which students begin to apply the theories that they've mastered and apply them in a more practical application. Students begin to understand the importance of identifying the right problem in order to arrive at the right solution. Teachers continue to guide and control the scope of the project so students are not overwhelmed at the beginning of the application phase. Phase 4. After students begin to apply themselves to a teacher-driven application assignment, students are now asked to independently come up with a problem they'd like to solve. Teachers begin to slip in the background and allow students to take more control. Students begin by identifying a problem, convincing others, setting up a process and system, and arriving at a conclusion, which is communicated to an authentic professional audience. Lastly, in Phase 5, students come together as teams to solve a problem. Teams of 2 to 4 students are asked to follow the same independent process like in Phase 4. However, this time, roles are assigned among all team members. Students not only have to manage the assignment, but also manage themselves and work with others. They have to deal with the members' personalities, strengths, and weaknesses, and adapt to another person's way of doing it.